I remember scrolling TikTok in 2021, watching another book I'd never heard of climb to the top of a must read list, and thinking, I should be there. I know I should be there. And then I closed the app because I genuinely could not get off that couch. That moment has lived in my head for a long time. And the question underneath it, the one I've never quite said out loud on this podcast, is this. Was the moment I missed the only moment? Or is there still a place for the writer who shows up late? That's what we're doing today. Welcome to the Write Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Williams, best-selling romance author, book coach, and founder of Serenade Publishing. I've been an avid reader ever since I could hold a book, and I've spent a decade immersed in the world of writing, editing, and publishing fiction. I know firsthand what it takes to turn a love of storytelling into a sustainable, soul-aligned author career. Each week, I share real talk about writing fiction, marketing smarter, and staying inspired, along with up-to-date industry insights and the strategies that are working right now. You'll also hear from fellow authors, editors, and industry experts who are out there doing the work and making waves. Here, we put the woo in the work of writing, publishing, and growing your author business. Think of this as your creative business pep talk, packed with heart, hustle, and a little bit of magic. So get cozy and join me. Your writing journey starts now. Hey scribe, Sarah here, and thanks for spending this time with me today. Let me take you back to 2020. COVID hit, bookstores closed, and readers, suddenly stuck at home with nothing but time, found their way to a corner of TikTok called BookTok. And what happened next was something the publishing industry hadn't seen since Oprah's book club. A hashtag became a discovery engine. Readers weren't reviewing books, they were reacting to them, crying on camera, screaming, holding up their highlighted copies. And the algorithm, which rewards emotion above almost everything else, absolutely ate it up. The biggest beneficiaries? Indie romance authors. Because romance is built for exactly that kind of reaction, the slow burn, the betrayal, the moment the love interest finally says the thing. Romance readers don't just read, they feel loudly, and TikTok gave them somewhere to put it. The wave started in 2020, but here's what people get wrong. They talk about BookTok in the past tense, like it was a pandemic anomaly that faded when the world reopened. It didn't. According to data reported by Publishers Weekly, BookTok was directly attributable to approximately 59 million print books sold in the US in 2024. That's roughly $760 million tied to a single Discovery Channel. And in Europe, 2025 data shows another 50 million books, 800 million euros, flowing from TikTok recommendations. Right now, currently happening. Put it all together and BookTok drives somewhere between 7 and 8% of all US print book sales for one platform. That's not a nostalgia story, that's a tectonic shift that is still moving under our feet. And the authors who rode that wave, they weren't unicorns. Let me give you a few names. Elsie Silver built an empire on small-town cowboy romance, Chestnut Springs, which is almost exactly the lane I write in with Songbird. Hannah Grace published a sports romance debut called Icebreaker and watched it become a global phenomenon, almost entirely through TikTok. Anna Huang went from indie author to traditional publishing powerhouse on the back of BookTok momentum. These are not people who had big platforms, bigger budgets, or bigger books than you. They had TikTok and they showed up. There was a window and a lot of writers walked through it. Here's the honest part, the part I don't love saying. Well, that wave was building My marriage was ending. My mental health was the worst it had ever been. I could write, barely, but I could not put my face on camera. I could not be on. And TikTok in those years rewarded being on. Loud, fast, reactive, performative. I didn't have any of that to give. So I watched from the shore. And if that's where you were too, if you set out a wave because you were surviving something, I want to say this clearly. That is not a failure of strategy. That is a person being a person. So I'm actually on TikTok now, and I want to tell you what it actually feels like because it is not what I expected. It's slow. Let me just say that first, because I think anyone who's showing up in 2026 and expecting the 2021 experience is going to feel like they failed when they haven't. The algorithm has changed. The Wild West era, where any debut could blow up overnight, has cooled. Growth is slower, steadier, and more relational now. But here's what I didn't expect: the comments section. I have never been anywhere online that felt more genuinely like people wanted you to succeed. Readers cheering, writers cheering, complete strangers leaving notes in the comments because your video made them feel something. It's different from Instagram, where the silence can feel like judgment. On TikTok, imperfection lands. A shaky video with a real thought in it consistently outperforms a polished one with nothing to say. It's the only platform I've been on where a stranger has become emotionally invested in your book before they've even bought it. Here's the reframe I've had to do in my own head, and maybe you need it too. The wave I missed wasn't the wave, it was our wave. Platforms have seasons. The authors who lasted through BookTok's evolution, the ones who are still there, still growing, weren't the ones who timed their entry perfectly. They were the ones who kept showing up after the algorithm changed, after their growth slowed, after the novelty wore off. I'm not late, I'm early to whatever the next chapter of this platform is, and so are you if you're still standing on the shore. 3 things I'd tell 2021 me now that I know. You don't have to be loud, you have to be honest. Your readers don't need you at your best. They need you as you are. And the cost of not showing up, the books unread, the readers who never find you, is higher than the cost of showing up imperfectly every single time. So is it too late? Let me answer that question directly because I know some of you came here specifically for this. No, it's not too late. But I want to give you something more useful than reassurance. I want to give you an honest map of where readers actually are right now in 2026 so you can make a real decision about your time. TikTok and BookTok, still the single biggest book discovery engine for fiction, especially romance. And I want to push back on something here because I hear it constantly. TikTok is for teenagers. It's not anymore. The platform's fastest growing demographic is women aged 25 to 50, which is, not coincidentally, exactly who reads romance. If your reader is a woman in her 30s or 40s with a Kindle and a book hangover, she is almost certainly on TikTok. Your assumption that you're too old to be there or that your readers are too old to be there, that assumption is costing you. What's changed from the early days in what works? Consistency, niche, and collaborating with other creators matter far more than chasing virality. Best for writers who can commit to 3 or 4 short videos a week for at least 6 months, and who can talk about their writing process in other people's books, not just their own. It's worst for writers who need fast ROI or who genuinely hate being on camera. Don't torture yourself. Instagram and Bookstagram is still strong for community, weaker for discovery than it once was. Reach is harder to come by. Saves and shares matter more than likes. The useful thing? If you're already making TikToks, you can repost them as Reels for free. It's not a second platform, it's a second window. Threads. This one surprised me. After X became unusable for a lot of writers, the literary community quietly moved to Threads, and the bookish corner there is dense and genuinely active. It's text first, conversational, low production. It suits introverts. It suits quiet achievers. It suits people who have something to say but don't want to be on camera to say it. If that sounds like you, it might be worth 10 minutes of your day. Now, here's the part I want you to really sit with, because I think it's the most important strategic point in this entire episode. You do not own any of it. Not your TikTok following, not your Instagram audience, not your Threads community. Every single follower you have on every single social platform is sitting in a house that belongs to someone else. TikTok can be banned, and we watched that almost happen. Instagram can change its algorithm overnight and cut your reach by 70%, and we've watched that happen repeatedly. A platform can decide tomorrow that it no longer wants to show your content to people who ask to see it, and there is nothing you can do because you are a tenant. You are not the landlord. Your email list is the only real estate you actually own. Those subscribers choose to let you into their inbox. No algorithm stands between you and them. No platform can take them away. If every social media app disappeared tomorrow, and honestly, stranger things have happened, your email list is what you'd have left. It's the difference between building on rented land and building on ground you hold the deed to. So here's how I want you to think about social media from this point forward. It is not the destination, it is the doorbell. The entire point of every TikTok, every Reel, every Threads post is to get your reader off that platform and onto your newsletter. That's it. That's the job. You are not trying to build a TikTok following. You are trying to convert a TikTok viewer into an email subscriber, because that is the relationship you actually get to keep. Social media is where readers find you. Your email list is where they stay with you. Don't confuse the front door for the living room, and don't spend all your time decorating a house you don't own. And my actual answer to is it too late? The question itself is the trap. Too late assumes there was one moment. There wasn't. There was a moment for Hannah Grace. There was a moment for Colleen Hoover. There will be a moment for someone listening to this episode. And the only thing you can do to be ready for it is to already be showing up when it arrives. If you've been waiting until you feel ready, until your hair is right, until the book is out, until the kids are older, until you're not grieving something, I waited 5 years, and I'm here to tell you, the version of you that's surviving something is the version your readers actually want to meet when you're ready to meet them. So here's what I want you to do this week. Just one thing. Pick one platform, not 3. The one where you can imagine yourself still posting in 18 months, when the numbers are small and the growth is slow and there are no guarantees. Pick the one you could sustain on a hard day. And then every time someone connects with what you share, every comment, every save, every reply, your one job is to give them a reason to come find you somewhere you actually own. Link in bio, sign up in the caption, a freebie, whatever works for you. Just get them off the platform and into your world. Show up on the days that you don't feel like it, more than the days you do, because that's the whole job, really. That's always been the job. I hope this episode resonated with you. Thanks so much for being here today, and I'll see you next week on the Right Podcast. Thanks so much for listening to the Right Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean the world if you'd leave a review and share the show with your writer friends. It helps more creatives find their way to us. And don't forget to follow Serenade Publishing on Instagram and TikTok for more writing tips, publishing advice, and exciting events to keep you inspired. Keep writing, keep dreaming, and know that I'm here to support you every word of the way.